of graduating from Bite Back and do something more with myself and get out of this homeless situation and better myself. And that is only done, and it was free, and it was freeing, free not only financial but freeing as a
That's it. That's it. It was
yep,
free
it was
and it
free,
was freeing. It
free,
was free and it
yes,
was freeing. And I want to,
absolutely,
that is a beautiful, beautiful point to be
absolutely,
made. That is free and freeing. And I also want to celebrate the other point that you made, which was, one of the really distinguishing characteristics of Bite Back is this inclusive and accepting and welcoming environment. I think one of the things that really touched me about working with them is the family atmosphere. And so, to your point, regardless of where you start and where you come from, we accept, celebrate, and support you as you move along this journey. And
yes,
you are living proof that
yes.
that support that seed planted of support turns into a blossom of creativity. So thank you so much
Thank
for
you for
sharing your
having
story.
me. And Bite Back has always been there for me. And I'm always there when you all call because we are family.
We are family. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I would like to move along on this conversation and add to this another voice. She mentioned how good the teachers are and how important it is that they invest in you and make this experience fun. So I'd like to talk to the testimony of somebody who has become a partner and a teacher after being able to benefit from the service. So Samuel, if you're on, if you could come on and share a little bit about what kept you not only in the program, but then staying on to continue to support the students as they continue their journey.
Yes, yes. Good morning, everybody. First of all, and I want to thank everybody for letting me be here. This is truly a blessing, and I'm loving it. So, of course, when I got to Bite Back, my situation was pretty similar to Fabian's. I was homeless at the time, and they offered the free courses, which of course free was good at that time for free and freeing, like you said. Um, and then they offered moving forward on to a position, right? I am now a project coordinator and coach for Bite Back. And let me explain something to you. The things that Chrissy said is tremendously correct, right? I get to go out. Now, Bite Back has done so much for me. I get to go out now, everything that they have taught me, and go into the community and teach it to other people. And the foundational skills of computer literacy is very low right now, right? I could put a mouse in somebody's hand and they'll click the wrong side,
Mm-hmm.
So
Simple
these
things.
are, yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't know how to power on and power off. And so Bite Back, what they have done for me is they allowed me to go out and give this to other people. I started off like Fabian. I was homeless. I started off. I have a 4-year-old autistic child. Charlotte is her name. I have her all the time. Her mother is in her life. She gets to see her and stuff, and she's everything. But Bite Back embraced her. Right. I had
Yeah.
to bring her to school with me sometimes because
Mm-hmm.
daycare wouldn't take her. And we'll talk a little bit about Andrew again. He was the lively teacher. He had to deal with her on a cranky day one day. And, I thought that the class was going to be like, oh my God, this child is in here. She's screaming. She's running around. But the class didn't. And then I thought Andrew was going to pull me aside and say, hey, Sam, listen, you got to get this kid out of here. He's messing everything up. Right. She He didn't do that. What he did do was he said, hey, how can I help? I said, she might be hungry. And she left, came back with a bowl of soup, set it up on a little table over there in the corner,
Mm-hmm.
put her little toys over there. She jumped up there, started eating. Everything got silent, everything got quiet, and we continued the class. Right. This was things that made me feel like Bite Back was my home. Then they took me to the next level and made me project coordinator for them
We
and
love it.
also a coach, right? So now I've done digital navigation all across DC, training people as digital navigators to go out into the community and help these older adult learners, get more foundation, get better skilled with computers.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it. It's a dream come true to me. I'm sitting in my own place. I'm financially overcoming things now. I'm
Mhm.
making, and this is something that I'll just throw out there because this is what people need to know. You start off here going to McDonald's and all this stuff. You go to school and you spend all this money and you
Yep.
still don't get what you want. Bite Back embraced me. They didn't care about my past, and now I make over $60,000 a year. So you
Amen.
know, you know
Amen.
what I'm saying, right?
Yes, yes. I
We
think
got.
that's one of the beautiful things about Bite Back, right? It's a
Mhm.
part of a journey. And to your point, not only do we accept people for who they are, we empower them through education, but then we are helping families. When the revenue comes up, when the revenue increases, you help the family. When you help the family, you expose them to experiences they didn't have and change the trajectory of a whole generation. And so I see that in you, and I appreciate what you've done. Would you agree that what do you say is the most important aspect of the teaching? What would you say is the most important part?
The most important part of the teaching is the results. Seeing the faces on the adult learners after they're done, and they're sitting in their in front of their laptop now, clicking on the right things. They are going on Amazon, ordering stuff. They're using telehealth, right?
Yeah.
Telehealth is something that I had to let a lot of adult learners know. Listen, you don't have to go out when it's cold and snowy and raining, right? If you feel a certain way, just let's do this right on the computer, right? So the most important thing is to make sure that you um, are doing it for the right reasons. You're doing it
Yeah.
because you want to give. You're doing it because you want the people to learn,
Mhm.
and you're doing it from the heart. And I'll say one more thing before we go. Bite Back is spreading like COVID, right? It's
Interesting.
going out, and I got it, I spread it.
Yeah.
Fabian got it, she spreads it. Chrissy has it, she spreads it, right?
Mhm.
So make sure you all help, right?
Yes.
Invest in Bite Back. Feed us because we need you to help us to help you.
Amen. Yes, 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 yes. Again, as y'all see the crawl, visit biteback.org. Your investment makes a difference. And these stories are illustrations and practical applications of the information that we invest in people that help move generations and lives forward. And so thank you. I did want to ask you one last question before you go,
Mhm.
though.
Sure, no problem.
Digital navigators. Can you explain to the public what is a digital navigator?
Yes, I can. Oh my goodness, I don't even know why I left that out. So, what is it like to be a digital navigator? Right. Well, it's like Clark Kent turning into Superman. A digital navigator is somebody who basically helps the community with affordable access, skills, and resources to technology. Right. So, someone may have a computer, but they might not have internet. Okay, so what we do is we try to help them find ways to get internet, right? We work with ACP. ACP is a program that helps people reduce their internet costs or not even have internet cost at all, right? Other things would be that you could go into your community, go into your libraries, go into your senior citizen facilities, and just sit right with an older person with a computer, and they might have questions. They might not know what I need to, or not even an older person, a regular someone that's homeless. Man,
Mhm.
this job wants me to work for them, but they need me to fill this application out online, and I don't even know how to do that. So
Mhm.
what a digital navigator does is walk them through how to do that and showing them how to do that so
Awesome.
they can do that on their own.
Thank you. I'm going to bring Chrissy in, who's our, again, manages our programs, because she wanted to hook on to what you said.
Yes, thank you, Sam. Thank you. Amazing. I mean, what you pour back, how you have poured back into Bite Back is just absolutely phenomenal. So thank you. Just wanted to really, expound on what we're doing in the community. Sam is a coordinator at Bite Back. He's a coach. He is one of our 360 digital navigators. To Sam's point, 360 digital navigators is Bite Back's community to community approach to closing the digital divide. So to Sam's point, we are in the community. We're training caseworkers, we're training faith-based leaders, we're training librarians, we're training volunteers and staff of various nonprofits, training them as digital navigators, equipping them with the skills from adult learning theory, adult learning science, how to work with an adult new to the digital world, to resources like Affordable Connectivity Program and how to complete the application and enrollment for the Affordable Connectivity Program, which for those who don't know is a federal subsidy that actually helps and has helped millions of adults get internet who did not have internet before. But our trainers, our navigators go out to senior centers, they go to rec centers, they go to various organizations throughout the city. They sit with these individuals, these community members who don't have the skills to access any aspect of life they're trying to access. And they sit with them and they help them with any digital task, from getting connected to making a doctor's appointment to anything you can think of, which is amazing. So our 360 Digital Navigators is in DC, it's in Sacramento, California, it's in Miami, and in Baltimore. So we are really, really making a mark with our 360 Digital Navigators. And I just want to add, in addition to 360 Digital Navigators, that is really right now tasks. It's supporting adults with tasks they need done right now. But for our community members who want to gain the skills to have those sustainable independence, as far as that they can do everything themselves, they would then go to our Computer Foundations 1 class, which is our training. It's 24 hours of instruction. It is an intensive training. 24 hours. It's so interesting because we oftentimes have community partners say, hey, Chrissy, can't BiteBack just come in and teach a, 1-day class or a few hour class on how to use a computer? And the answer is always no, it does not work that way. When you're talking an adult who is new to the digital world, it not only takes skill building, but it takes confidence building. There's a huge fear around the digital world, around a computer in our communities. So we find in our 26 years of doing what we do, we found that 24 hours is what is necessary to bring an adult with low to no digital skills to being able to successfully navigate the digital world. And then if they want to go beyond that into more advanced computer skills, we offer that too, as well as career paths in jobs utilizing IT.
Thank you so much, Chrissy. Do you love the energy, everybody? This energy and this compassion and this connectivity, the authentic connection between Sam and Chrissy is real. They work together, they believe in the same thing, they're aligned, and it's making a difference. And we want to expose you to this information so you can help us make a difference and help us scale and grow and really go deep, not necessarily wide, but deep, and help to sustain. Again, you said not just survive, but we want to be able to move from surviving to thriving. So thank you both, Sam and Chrissy, for that energetic expound on that information. It's great. It's great. I love it. I would also like to reach out and share with you some of the people in our community not only support us through donations, but they support us through service. And so we have a strong board of talented individuals who are committed to this cause and creating access and creating relationships to help us further this mission. Right now, I'd like to bring on Ms. Usa who's a current board member, to share a little bit about who she is, what she brings to the board, but why she aligns with this mission and what she believes about the urgency around inclusion.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Michelle. Before I get started, I do want to briefly introduce myself. My name is Husaina Tublake. I'm a new BiteBack board member, and professionally, I'm an ed tech professional and professor with close to 20 years of experience working domestically and globally to provide marginalized, overlooked, under-resourced communities with educational opportunities via affordable and accessible technology. So BiteBack is near and dear to my heart because I really have dedicated my career to initiatives and to organizations like BiteBack. Now to answer some of your questions on why I'm aligned, I really want to tackle the second part of your question, and that's really why the digital divide or digital inequity remains significant in our global world.
Mm-hmm.
With the rise of AI and machine learning in all aspects of our life, with the global COVID pandemic highlighting these disparities in access to technology, in internet connectivity and digital skills, digital inclusion is essential. It's mandatory because it impacts employment. Like Samuel and Fabian have done such a beautiful job telling their stories on how having digital literacy skills changed their lives. It impacts education. Education is directly connected to work and workforce. In my almost 20 years of experience, I've worked in the for-profit world, the nonprofit world, philanthropy, academia. And in these experiences, I've learned that digital literacy is essential to modern education. It determines whether students, teachers, families, co-workers, community members are able to keep pace with their peers and be able to be ready for the current and future workforce. So that is why it's essential. And as Chrissy has touched upon, healthcare and other social services are all online, especially in this country. And being digitally literate is essential. It is necessary. So I really do think that Bite Back is doing great work to address some of these issues that we're seeing in the different sectors mentioned. But most importantly, there are three things about Bite Back that I just love that directly align with my own personal mission and vision. One, it's community related, right? It's community relevant programs. They have programs that are tailored to different demographics that really target seniors, veterans, low income families, immigrants. Bite Back ensures inclusivity and relevance in its training. And that's why its programs are effective and impactful. The second point is the digital literacy, digital skills advocacy. Bite Back really does advocate through its partnerships with the National Digital Inclusion Alliance, with its partnership with Urban Alliance to really prioritize digital literacy skills and inclusion, and to really promote funding organizations that focus on definitive solutions for digital divide and for digital inclusion. And then lastly, I think that Bite Back just gets it. Bite Back knows that digital upskilling is essential. It knows that it's necessary, and it knows that it's foundational for a prosperous community and for a functioning society. So anybody who's online watching us, enjoying this conversation, feeling touched by the stories that they have heard, please donate, and also please share the information about Bite Back that you've learned today.
Yes, Bite Back just gets it. That is the quote of the day. Bite Back just gets it. And honestly, Usa, we are so grateful for your engagement and your support and your articulate persuasion around the reasons to engage and to commit. We are always looking for volunteers or supporters or corporate partners, or there's so many ways to get involved. There's so many ways to get involved. This is just an opportunity to share the power of engagement, but there's so many ways to get involved, and we thank you so much. Thank you. As we witness the incredible impact of this conversation about Bite Back and the impact it's had on individuals and communities, I want to be reminded that each of us, again, plays a vital role in making this transformative journey possible. The power to bridge the digital divide lies not only in our programs, but also in your support. Now more than ever, we invite you to join in this mission by contributing to Bite Back. Your donation becomes a catalyst for change, opening doors to opportunities, and empowering those who need it most. Let's unite today. This is important in creating a future where every individual has the tools they need to succeed. So together, we can make a lasting impact. Visit our donation page and be a part of the Bite Back story. So again, I want to continue this conversation. We've got a little bit of time left here. We're halfway through. I wanted to, again, help everyone see the power of affinity with this organization. So I'd like to introduce you to one of our supporters who's been a donor and a partner and a beneficiary of Bite Back over time. So I'd like to introduce to you Samantha. Samantha, you want to come on and share a little bit about yourself and what aligns you with Bite Back and how it has impacted your life?
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I'm Samantha Shed, and I'm a senior technical program manager at Microsoft, and I've been working with BiteBack for the last 2 years. And I've had a wonderful opportunity to meet the staff and some of the students and learn more about the mission.
Awesome. And so I know you're a donor. What made you not only just connect, but give?
What made me give is I like most people, donate to things that are both close to my heart and my story. And I grew up in rural Pennsylvania, where I had an opportunity to take a fundamental class in Excel, Word, PowerPoint, similar to the Microsoft Professional, although a few years ago, that BiteBack offers today. And this course, I was thinking about it the other day, set the fundamentals of my high school, undergrad, graduate experience in being able to meet the classes in demand. But also, as a former naval officer and now as a program manager, I've used those skills day in and day out of my life. And as we talked about, our professional and personal lives are really bounded by tech, from the legal to healthcare, big tech, small businesses on Etsy, large retail, academia, entertainment. You can't, in any aspect of your life, ignore the need to be able to access tech. And in high-tech jobs, like certainly software development, database management, IT management, cybersecurity, I've hired in those positions, and there's a lot of programs out to help people reach those skills. But it starts with that digital divide. And BiteBack, by offering things like access to the internet, the usability of the digital navigator, logging on, as previously mentioned, it's much more than just turning the computer on and off. The tools that I mentioned, to be able to use Microsoft Professional and other related tools to do things, and then the IT management skills. BiteBack has that layered approach that allows students to come in and be met where they are. And BiteBack meets those students. And so when I think about why I donate, I think about the rural young girl who never, ever dreamed of being in tech. Never would have thought that I would have had an opportunity to do that. But because I had those fundamental skills, was able to. But I also think about my older brother, who's now passed, who experienced homelessness and many other things that are similar to many BiteBack stories that you hear in this telecast, as well as other areas. And I think about how his life would have made a huge difference if in rural Pennsylvania, an organization like BiteBack had been there. And so I think we all know that there's a connection to each of us in the BiteBack organization, because we all know somebody in that. And so, each time that I give to BiteBack, I think about him and many other stories and how BiteBack is really changing lives.
That is beautiful. What you just shared is that we are all 1 degree away from being not included in this digital space. And every one of us knows someone in our circle or family that is not digitally literate, whether it's because they did not have access early, right? So a senior citizen who just doesn't get the text, or somebody who, to your point, may just be in a space where the facilities and the resources aren't available. Biteback.org is our homepage, and you can find out a little bit more about what we do. But the reason to give is because it makes a difference, not just for you, but for those who are connected to you and those around you. And I love the part of your story where you didn't think you'd be in tech, but you know what? None of us thought the world would be tech. Yeah. We thought we were going to find our way and maybe have to deal with tech. The world is tech. So thank you so much, Samantha, for your commitment, for your gifts, and for even just being compassionate enough to consider.
Thank you.
Process. Thank you. Again, this is why it's important to not ignore things that you may not feel personally, but touch the people around you. This is a social justice issue. We cannot get access. We cannot get equality. We cannot help the whole universe grow. The globe is interconnected, but it's interconnected by technology. I want to bring on someone else who also is a donor, but also has been a beneficiary of BiteBack to, again, talk to us a little bit about how to create that connection. We are a representation of what we create, and technology illustrates the way that we connect to each other exponentially. We did it before technology. Now technology just made it digital. So Lisa, would you come on and share with us a little bit about how you got involved what you do, and what makes you give. I think you're on mute. Might want to check your, oh, we can't hear you. There you go.
Apologize for that. Hello there. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm excited to be here and just to share with everyone that's listening. My name is Lisa Brown, and as you mentioned, I'm an alum of Bite Back. Bite Back saved my life, professionally, that is. I had a background working for nonprofit organizations and also retail and travel for a number of years. At one point, I had 6 jobs all at one time. All I wanted was one career. I just got that career or what have you. But Bite Back, I did the Microsoft Office suite. I got into Excel with Andrew. I think we all had Andrew, exciting, wonderful teacher, kind, patient, professional. And then I did the Outlook. Bite Back helped me to develop my skills to get back into the market of and applying for jobs that I normally would not have applied for because I was out of sync with, using the computer as much, because retail, you don't use the computer as much. A little bit you do now, but when I was doing it, I wasn't. But I got a job working at a ballet school. I'm not a ballerina, but being in administration on their team. And then Bite Back even helped me to get a summer internship, which lasted for 7 months. I think summer is a little bit shorter than 7 months, but and using Excel, because their programmer said I did great Excel spreadsheets, better than the person he had doing it. So they kept coming up with projects for me. So it just extended, right? Got hired on the sales floor of a retail establishment by the CEO and founder of a company. Been there 6 months now. Talking about an answered prayer, because the day before, literally, I had prayed that I would get a new job that would utilize all of my skills. And lo and behold, I meet this gentleman. It pays to be kind to everyone that you meet, but I meet this gentleman, and he gave me his information, said, tell them that I asked you to apply. And I checked and I said, oh my goodness, they got a copy of my resume that Bite Back helped me with. And so it just parlayed. It was just wonderful experience. Day doesn't go by that I'm constantly using Excel spreadsheets and learning so many more, skills and all of that. I can't say enough for Bite Back. The staff is professional. They're kind. I know when I got into the Excel class, I found myself at the end of the day. I was so excited to have gotten in. And I said, Lord, how can I give back to Bite Back? And he answered that question so quickly. I, represented them on Madison's, being their storyteller and some other places and all of that. But I decided right then and there, when I get my job, I'm going to give 10% back. I tithe at church and I tithe at Bite Back. I thought I will give them 10% of my salary. And I also need to kick in, they helped me get the internship. I need to send in 10% of that too. So I don't know about you, but I wrote a check today. Here's another check coming your way. A little old fashioned, but here's my check to Bite Back. I put my money where my mouth is. And so, that's one way. And I invite everyone, this is a season of giving. And so I invite everyone to be a secret Santa. Give to Bite Back, make a donation to them, and to help someone else or a couple of people. You never know whose life you're touching, because again, you've touched mine. Someone before me, donated and touched my life, and now I want to pass it forward and touch someone else's life. So be a secret Santa, and donate to Bite Back. It's an amazing, amazing organization, and that's why I give back.
Thank you. You Bite Back. You got bit back. Now you gave back. Like, now we love it. Love it.
And the other thing too is I add to I recruit students as well. I tell everyone about Bite Back. I got my luggage tag hanging on my bag. I have my water, my Bite Back water thing. It drums up conversations. But I'm thinking, well, if you think about it, everyone's not a techie, but the kids like, they like the gadgets and everything. So I encourage even young people, hey, take a computer class, or what have you. Go to Bite Back. Here's the information. Go there and sign up for a course that can change your life.
Yes, you are an influencer, Miss Lee. You are an influencer.
That's the title. I'll take it. I love Bite Back.
Your energy is amazing. You're an influencer. Again, everyone, this is an example of the impact of an organization who is committed or authentically to changing lives and changing the trajectory of people's lives. And thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for your energy so much. Lee,
You're
I would
welcome.
like to, you're welcome. I would like to, as we kind of bring it down and move into the final components of this conversation, I do want to make it a conversation. And please feel free, if you have any questions or any contributions to the conversation, to put them in the chat, and we'll give our best effort to acknowledge or, give you a shout out or answer the question. So right now, though, I'd like to bring Christy and Usa back on, because I would like to have a little bit of a conversation around the impact. And one question I would like to ask Chrissy is, how much does it take to, what type of gifts, like $1,000 would help one person in a program? Like what is the cost of helping someone? If I donated 5,000, how many people might I be helping?
Yes. That is a great question. So yes, if you donated, say $5,000, you are helping 5 community members, not to just, come in and to get training, but we're talking economic mobility. We're not just talking tech training. We're not just talking workforce development. We are talking economic mobility. So I just really want to hone in, while we do workforce development as well, right? So often when we're talking funding, and I know, we're a nonprofit, we cannot make impact without resources. Resources run dry very quickly. Mm-hmm. And, especially, in our communities, it is so key that we change this narrative, because being a workforce development organization, so often we were funded by funders who focus on certification, industry recognized certifications, and job placements. And while that is needed, and it's so important, and that is something that we do, we cannot forget about the gap. The majority of our community members that come to us are not ready for workforce development, but they need those foundational digital literacy skills to then go into these workforce training programs, whether it be Bite Back's IT training pathway or other amazing organizations, IT training pathways, construction, manufacturing. All of these jobs require foundational digital skills. So this digital literacy is the bridge to workforce development. So please, as you're thinking about, I'd rather fund, an organization that focuses on advanced skills, on certifications and job placements, please don't forget that so many of these amazing organizations that do IT training and various other workforce training, they are so excited when Bite Back comes to the community, because they have so many community members from under-resourced, historically marginalized areas that come and want to get into their programs, but they can't pass the assessment because they don't have the digital literacy skills, the foundational skills to get into their program. So please, just for digital literacy skills training,
just for that alone is enough reason.
$1,000 goes a long way. $1,000, $1 million, $100 million, whatever you can give. The community needs it. It goes back to our programs, and you are literally changing lives.
Awesome. I would like, Usa, I know that you've been in this field, this industry for a long time. What kinds of benefits do corporate partnerships bring to organizations like Bite Back? How would that opportunity really impact the community that they are in? Oh, on mute. One second.
Sorry about that. Other than money, corporate sponsorships, partnerships, foundations, they actually bring in insight on what the job market needs, right? Like Chrissy so eloquently pointed out, Bite Back provides foundational digital literacy skills. You need to know the ABCs before you can do calculus. You need to know how to add and subtract before you can go and do anything else. So the corporate sponsors will be able to fund foundational digital literacy skills programs, not
Mhm.
only through their money, but also through the expertise, because they are actually in the field. They know what their job market needs. They know what their company needs. And they would be really providing an opportunity to reach out to the communities and provide essential skills. But also, I do want the corporate sponsors to know that it's not just them providing, it's also Bite Back giving back to them. It's an opportunity for their employees to get a real community-based volunteer experience,
Yes, that's right.
something that is beyond money, really having an impact through some of the events that we hold. Being able to speak to the people who are benefiting from their funds. And then most importantly, being able to see firsthand the impact, the changing of individuals, the changing of families, and indirectly the changing of communities.
I would agree. I would agree. I would agree. And both of you hit on something indirectly, but I would like you guys to talk about it directly. Enterprise workforce development, and then the opportunity, because the organizations know what they need. I think we've exposed today the caliber of graduates that we have, right? They're enthusiastic, they're capable, they are, hungry. So one of the things I'd like, if you have a comment about, would be placement. Whether it's a partnership for recruitment or being able to reach out to Bite Back to get talent as much as invest in talent. Do either of you have any comments about that?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, and that's another way, your businesses and corporations can give back as hiring, our talent. We know, particularly in the IT space, it is not a diverse industry, and Bite Back is here to help diversify the tech space. We want people who look like us, people who are diverse and represent America, quite frankly, to represent the tech industry. So yes, you can definitely give back in a corporate space by hiring our grads. I know Hussam mentioned, giving back and coming in and being a mentor or a tutor or reviewing resumes, helping really just talking about pathways into jobs using technology. There's so many ways you can volunteer, being a part of the corporate world or being a professional yourself. I really want to hone in on that, the idea of workforce development. It really takes all of us coming together to support our community members and all of these jobs. Husa spoke so eloquently earlier to we have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of jobs in tech, and these job opportunities, these vacancies are growing, by the day, and they need to be filled. And they need to be filled with diverse talent. And that doesn't just start with hiring people from colleges and universities. That doesn't just start from computer science majors. That doesn't just start from IT certification training programs. It has to start in the communities that are experiencing poverty, who just need the foundational digital literacy skills and access. Bite Back can come in and bring those community members and meeting them where they are, addressing any other barriers they have to gain these skills, and then really bringing them and upskilling them up so that they then can go into these advanced trainings and these workforce training programs, and then into these jobs, filling these vacancies so that we have a diverse workforce.
Great. Thank you.
I do want to add to what Chrissy has said. We also have to see that this is also a business. And if we're talking about digital equity and digital inclusion, investing in Bite Back is investing in a company looking into research and development when it comes to tech, because you are directly in communities talking to the people who are impacted by digital inequities. So working with Bite Back, the scholars, the alums, hiring them, you will not only be learning about some of the gaps, but also learning how to develop solutions to some of these problems that create the digital divide in the first place. So please come to Bite Back. look at our programs, invest in our programs, and share our programs.
There is another soundbite of the day. Come to our programs, invest in our programs, and share our programs. Biteback.org.
Yes. Yes. Amazing soundbite. And I definitely also want to uplift. I know we're on time, coming to time. But we talked so much. You heard so many amazing stories from our some of our DC graduates, but Bite Back, we are in Washington, D.C. We are in Baltimore, Maryland. We are in, the suburbs of D.C. We are in Kentucky most recently, Louisville, Lexington, Clay County, Kentucky, in the rural areas, not just urban areas. We are in, I mentioned Sacramento, California, Miami, Florida. This is not, we are really in these areas because of donors, because of corporations who were like, we know this is a need, but those few places I mentioned are far from closing the digital skills gap. Bite Back supports and training really needs to be in every city throughout this country. So we need your help for expansion, not just expansion into new cities and areas that are disconnected, under-resourced, and historically marginalized, but even the cities we are in today, even our home city of Washington, D.C., there are more, DC residents who need Bite Backs upskilling, need Bite Backs training and supports. So please, if you are looking for a great place to open your wallet to this holiday season, Bite Back is definitely a place to consider.
Thank you both. We're coming down to a close. I want to add one more success story, then I'm going to do closing remarks and bring everybody on screen to say their last goodbyes. So thank you both. And at this point, I'd like to bring on Sam to bring out a success story in 1 minute or less to re-energize us as we come and bring this bracket to a close. On mute.
You caught me. I was trying to be on point, and I got it all. Got it messed up. That's all.
You got it. You got it. You can do
this.
this.
About right.
Yes.
Just wanted to add on. I know I had 1 minute. I wanted to add on to what they were saying. So all that stuff they were saying about the help and stuff, right? So we did a digital navigation program this summer with some youth, right? Kids from different schools. We took them and stuck them into homeless shelters and had them teach people digital literacy, like a digital navigator. Well, one individual needed a job, and we had a young lady, digital navigator, walk him through doing his resume, walking through, going online, putting in his application, and it took about a month, but the man got the job, and he came back and he praised her, and he was so happy. And and this was a 17-year-old girl that we had in a program that we took and put in a homeless shelter as a digital navigator to help people, and she helped this older gentleman get the job that he wanted to get.
Again, every interaction is an opportunity for infecting change. So each one of us has the opportunity to take the information from today's conversation, let it sit, and react to it with action, because every action is an opportunity. Every interaction is an opportunity. So thank you. I want to bring everybody back on screen so that we can have our closing comment. Everybody gets to say one sentence, and then I'm going to close it with my sentence. So I'm going to run through the screen. I'm going to call you, and you get to say one sentence that you will leave people with before I say that, my last. So I'm going to start with Samantha.
I would say be a part of the change and donate today.
Awesome. Fabian?
Help people become free by giving.
Love it. Lisa?
Give back to Bite Back and just write it like I did. Write a check. We need your help.
We need your
donating.
Awesome. Sam?
If you think that you can't go from making less than $20,000 a year to $60,000 a year, try Bite Back. Help them out. Help us out.
Love it. Usa?
I would say that digital skills are essential skills. Give and donate your time.
Love it. Chrissy?
Wow, so much to say, but I would just say, just remember, Bite Back is a bridge to life for our community members, a bridge to healthcare, a bridge to education, and a bridge to workforce. So please help our community not just survive, but thrive. So thank you.
Thank you. So as we bring this webinar to a close, let's reflect on the incredible journey we've explored together with Bite Back. The stories that we've heard, the impact we've witnessed, and underscore the significance of our collective effort. Each of us has a responsibility to be a part of the change that we want to see. So your support is key to unlocking more opportunities, empowering more individuals, and ensuring a brighter, digital, inclusive future. Please consider making a donation or getting involved today to be a part of this transformative mission. Together, we can continue blazing a trail to success for every student. Thank you for being a force for change. Please visit biteback.org. And thanks for being a part of this LinkedIn Live. Bye. We got a minute left. So what are we going to use to do with a minute?